The Witch in the Forest. There is a small house in the dark forest. A young witch named Elena lives there. She is beautiful, with long black hair and bright green eyes. Her best friend is her black cat, Shadow. Shadow is clever and always stays by her side. Elena loves her quiet life in the forest. She grows herbs in her garden and makes potions to help people. Sometimes villagers come to her house when they are sick. Elena gives them her special herbal tea or medicine, and they get better. The villagers like her, but they are also afraid of her. She is a witch, they whisper. Be careful. Elena has another life too. Once a month, she leaves her house and goes to the top of the hill at night. There, she meets other witches for a gathering, called a Sabbath. Some witches are her friends. They laugh together and share spells. But not everyone likes Elena, a witch named Morgana thinks Elena is too kind to humans. Morgana does not trust her. Elena has a big secret. She is in love with a blacksmith named Thomas. He lives in the nearby village. Elena visits the village to buy food or sell her herbs. When she sees Thomas, her heart beats fast. Thomas is strong and kind. He smiles at Elena and helps her carry her things. But Elena is afraid to tell him how she feels. He will not love a witch, she thinks. One night, at the witch's Sabbath, Morgana finds out Elena's secret. You love a human. Morgana shouts. All the witches turn to look at Elena. Some are shocked, others laugh. Elena's face turns red. She does not know what to say. Morgana points at her. You cannot be part of our group if you love a human. Elena feels scared, but then her friend, a kind witch named Lilith, stands up for her. Leave her alone, Lilith says. She helps people. She is a good witch. Morgana frowns but does not say more. Elena thanks Lilith later. She decides to be brave. The next day, she goes to the village and tells Thomas her secret. I am a witch, she says. Do you still like me? Thomas looks at her and smiles. I do not care if you are a witch, he says. You are kind and good. I like you for who you are. Elena feels happy. She decides not to hide anymore. She continues to help the villagers and visit the Sabbath. She knows not everyone will accept her, but she is not afraid anymore. Shadow purrs by her side, and Elena smiles, ready for her next adventure. A new beginning. After Elena told Thomas her secret, her life began to change. For the first time, she felt free. She no longer had to hide who she was. And Thomas treated her with kindness and respect. He often came to her forest house to visit. He admired her garden and the herbs she grew. Elena even showed him how to make a simple healing tea. Your work is amazing, Thomas said one day. You are not just a witch, you are a healer. Elena blushed. No one had ever praised her like that before. Thank you, she whispered. Trouble in the Sabbath. But not everything was peaceful. The witches at the Sabbath had not forgotten about Elena's secret. Morgana, in particular, grew more jealous and angry. Why does she help humans? Morgana said to another witch. She is weak. At the next gathering, Morgana confronted Elena again. You are not one of us anymore, she said sharply. A witch who loves a human cannot be trusted. Elena stood her ground. I am still a witch. I just believe that kindness makes us stronger, not weaker. Lilith, Elena's loyal friend, nodded in agreement. Elena is right. She helps humans, but she is still powerful. This time, other witches began to speak up. Some of them admired Elena's courage. They confessed that they, too, had helped humans in secret. Morgana grew furious. You are all fools. She yelled and stormed away into the night. A dark plan. Morgana did not forget her anger. She decided to punish Elena. One night, Morgana followed Elena to the village. Staying hidden in the shadows, she saw Elena talking to Thomas. They were laughing together, and Morgana felt her jealousy burn. She will regret this, Morgana said to herself. She began to plan a spell curse to make Elena's life miserable. But Morgana knew she had to be careful. If the other witches discovered her plan, they might turn against her. The curse. A week later, strange things began happening in the village. Crops started to die, and cows refused to give milk. People whispered that it was the work of a witch. Elena heard the rumors and grew worried. She visited the farmers and tried to help with her herbs, but nothing worked. The villagers began to look at Elena with suspicion. Maybe she is the one causing this trouble, an old man said. She is a witch, after all. Thomas defended her. Elena has only ever helped us. She is not to blame. But the villagers were afraid. One night, they came to her house with torches. "Leave our village," they shouted. "We don't want your magic here." Elena stood on her doorstep, her heart breaking. "I have always helped you," she said. "Why do you turn against me now?" Thomas stepped in front of her. "If you want her to leave," he said, "you will have to go through me." The villagers hesitated. They respected Thomas, but their fear was strong. Elena realized she had to do something. "I will find the cause of this curse," she said. "Give me 3 days. The truth is revealed." Elena worked day and night, searching for the source of the curse. She finally found it, a black stone buried in a farmer's field. It was covered in dark runes. Elena recognized Morgana's magic immediately. "This is her doing," Elena said. She knew she had to act quickly. She took the stone to the Sabbath and confronted Morgana. "You cursed the village," Elena said. "You did this because of me." Morgana laughed. "They should not trust a witch like you. I only showed them the truth." Elena held up the stone. "This is not their truth. This is your hatred." She began to chant a spell, and the stone cracked in two. The curse was broken. The other witches stared at Morgana in shock. Lilith spoke first. "You put all of us in danger with this curse. You are no longer welcome in our circle." Morgana's face twisted with anger. "You will regret this," she said, and disappeared into the night. A happy ending. When Elena returned to the village, the crops were healthy again, and the animals were calm. The villagers apologized for their fear. "We were wrong about you," the old man said. "You are a good witch." Elena forgave them. She knew fear was hard to overcome. With Thomas by her side, she continued her work, helping people with her herbs and magic. The Sabbath also changed. More witches began to follow Eleanor's example. They helped humans openly and built trust between their two worlds. Lilith became a close friend, and together, they made the Sabbath a place of kindness and support. As for Morgana, she was never seen again. But sometimes on quiet nights, Elena thought she heard the wind whispering her name, as if Morgana was still watching, waiting. Elena smiled. She was not afraid. She had found her place in the world, and she was surrounded by love and friendship. And so, Eleanor's story became a legendary tale of a witch who chose love and kindness over fear and hate.